Hey guys, this is Evan Dukas with the Colorado Garden. This is a 2019 update on the front garden here that I started 5-6 years ago with just wood chips, a little manure in the back to Eden style. And wanted to do a quick walk around here. Everything you're seeing here is squash that is just very healthy. This garden gets healthier every single year, every season. Because these wood chips are just, they continue to break down more and more into this amazing black gold, amazing soil. And this is dry and it's still dark up here. But in there, the soil is just incredible. And these wood chips, as they break down, they continue to release micronutrients, major nutrients, nitrogen, as they break down underneath with a cold fungal composting. So amazing. Very little work, a lot of results. These plants are huge and they're running this way. This whole plant with the largest leaves here is a zucchini. I'm about 6'4", and if I laid down next to it, I'd probably reach one end and the next, to the next, head to foot, probably. It's just a huge plant. I'm seeing that with this method, you can plant things really close together. As you can see, I planted things way too close together. These are all winter squashes that were planted less than a foot apart, probably about like 6 to 10 inches in some cases. But there's enough nutrients and moisture to go around still. On some of my previous videos, I really outlined the benefits to this method of gardening, so feel free to check them out. I'm just going to make this kind of quick for the rest of the video, just kind of point out some of the plants that I have. Here is one tomato growing through the squash. Again, I planted things way too close together this year. However, it looks like everything is going to still be fruitful. I started these very late here, the tomatoes, but this one's doing great. This is one plant, and it's all the way from here to there, just poking out and getting some sun. A couple of varieties of winter squash, spaghetti squash. Our favorite variety of winter squash being hidatsa. It's a Native American heirloom, I believe from like the upper Midwest, and it is just a fantastic squash. Melting qualities to the texture. You can use it for anything that you would use pumpkin for, but really anything sweet and or savory. Just a wonderful squash. Hidatsa, I really recommend it. Here's a multi-graft apple tree. Very happy. Okay. Got a whole lot of strawberries on the understory here of the apple tree. They're also very happy. This is done in a food forest style. This whole area, it is dense. It is not necessarily totally neat and tidy and that kind of style, but to me it still has beauty. This is food forest style. These are all companion plants. They just do well with each other. There's some half-dead squash tips that I just pulled because those are a delicacy. I'm going to try boiling them down. I just need to get those out of there in a minute. There are herbs in here. There is comfrey here. There are some wonderful artichokes this year. And again, artichokes are a Mediterranean plant. They don't usually grow in Colorado, but guess what? With the wood chips, it beautifully insulates the roots in the winter, and so they usually come back. They survive the winter here in Colorado, even in a cold winter. So it's just amazing. Some oregano over there. And as you can see, it's, since everything's together, very close together, it creates these little microclimates for different plants that filters our very strong sunlight here in Colorado. It's high, hot, and dry here, very intense and very kind of hostile to plant growth for many gardens here, and I'm really having no problem because of all the density. This really helps create shade and cooling when it's really hot. Plants are kind of like a living swamp cooler. Air movement through leaves really helps to cool down and really kind of condition the air for other plants. Here's even a fig that I'm trying. Very much not a Colorado plant, but I'm going to try that. It has come back from the roots, you know, for the same reason that the artichokes have with the wood chips. However, I really do need to cover it up with a container and really try to protect some of that wood this year when winter hits. There's some lemon balm for the understory of this apple. And again, with a food forest style, you know, you have the trees are really markers of your garden. You know, they provide that microclimate for other plants. So many times, you know, I'll do trees, then shrubs and herbs and annuals on more of the outer areas that get the most sun. And you can kind of create yourself a nice system there. Here's some lovage. This acts like a shrub, but it is just an annual. Wonderful herb, wonderful for cooking. I do another video on that. Feel free to check it out. The flavor is just fantastic. And you know, throughout here, I just, you know, this feverfew and lavender right next to cucumbers here. More feverfew. It's like a weed, but it, you know, it brings those beneficials. You know, I've got California poppies. I have all these beneficial pollinators that, you know, having a multitude of plants brings, and herbs. So when you mix it up like that, it really helps to confuse pests and bring the bugs that you want. Here's some Culinary Sage. This is kind of a botanic garden, you know, lots of flowers, but it's just about done blooming here for the most part. Had some larkspur, some salvia, some autumn joy, different kind of salvia. Here is my elderberry, which I'm really excited about. Growing beautifully this year. It's a new plant, but it's really shooting out and absolutely loving the mulch. It's like a forest, absolutely wonderful. And it's in full bloom already. It's its first main growing year. I got it last year. Here's an Italian heirloom artichoke. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a purple artichoke. Coming out, starting. But really, these squashes kind of take the cake this year. I mean, this is like well over my my hip area. You know, really like these are growing up to my chest, and they're just huge, huge, huge. They had a little slow start. I started late this summer, but everything's looking great. Got some peppers. There's some chilies there. Let's see what the soil's looking like. Oh yeah, look at this. Just beautiful. Okay, so anyway, just want to highlight the benefits once again. By the way, this apple tree is struggling with fire blight. The culprit is down there in another property, nearby neighbor. But you know what? I'm just going to kind of let it be and cut away the dead stuff this winter, and really allow it to recover. So yeah, I just want to really highlight in this review of the garden again the benefits of deep mulching. Gosh, especially in the high and dry areas, and hot, high and dry areas here in the West that we have. And I want to remind you that this used to be this stuff. It was all one big driveway, and nothing can grow in it. I didn't take anything out. All I did was add. That's all you find in nature, is adding, 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 layer by layer. Never have to till again in my life. Never plan to. Never want to. And also just to highlight the benefits of multiple crops. Many different crops growing together is just an extremely healthy way to do it in a food forest situation like this. So, hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them.